to part 3 of your color wheel, and we're going to start coloring in the outsides of the color wheel. At this point, this is what yours should look like. Is it all colored in between? So the first step was creating the color wheel with the different sections, and the second step was to color in the center, and we went through that in video 2. So this video we are going to go through, and this is what our finished product is going to look like, is this color wheel. And we need to make sure that you go in and actually label everything, so it'll help you with the next assignment that we're going to be doing. So go back to Illustrator and open your color wheel, which is what you should have. And then make sure your swatches are still open, and that they're in folders like this. So you should have 3 folders of all your colors, and then you need to go and open your color guide panel, which is right here. This is going to give you the different values for your colors to make the color wheel, for your tints and shades. The color in the center represents the color that you have. So right here, so if I select here, and here is your center mark. So these are the actual colors. On your guide, you'll see that tints are right of center, while the shades are left of center. The center colors represent the base color selected. You will create a color group for 10% tint, a 30% tint, and a 10% shade for each color group, primary, secondary, and the tertiary. My goodness, I hate that word. So let's start with the 10% tint group, and we'll create a new icon for that. So selecting all of that right there, you're going to go down into your swatch panel, and actually you're going to do it in your color guide panel, and you hover over that, you say save color group to swatch panel, and you save it right there. And then that is your tints, your 10% tint color group. And then to keep it organized, you'll want to move it right underneath that, so you have all those colors and then your 10% group. Next, you are going to do the page here. You're going to follow these steps to create swatches for the 30% tint group. So you go back and click here, and this should be your 30% group. So you're going to hold shift and select all those. Again, hitting save to swatch panel, and then moving it underneath that one. And then you're going to do 10% shade, which should be going back to here, be 1 over from the center, hitting that. So there's your shade group, moving that over. So everything should be organized under the main thing. And then on your wheel, you're going to use the direct select tool, which is A for a shortcut. And you're going to select the shape above the yellow pie wedge. Fill this with the yellow 10% tint. So right above the yellow, and then your 10%. And then above that, you're going to use fill the yellow with the 30% tint, which would be this one. And then above that, you're going to fill in with the 10% shade, which would be this one. You're going to continue to do this all the way around for the primary colors that you just did. So let's go to the magenta, hit that, and just go straight down. And then go to the cyan and do the same thing. And there you have your primary colors going. Now for the secondary colors, work through steps through those steps again to do all your secondary colors. So again, to refresh you, you're going to click there. You're going to select your 10% back here and add it. Go back to your secondary colors and you're going to select the 30% and add it, and then go back to your secondary colors again and go to your 10% shade. And then again, move those all underneath there so you have them in order. And then going back to your secondary colors, your green, you start filling in again. Oops. So your green, your next color is the orange. And then the next color is violet. And then you're going to go to your last color bracket and do the exact same thing and adding it to your swatch panel. So scrolling down, hit this group, you're going to go to your tints again, your 10%. Oops, got hold shift, I guess. And then add that. Go back there, go to your 30%, add that, go back to the folder and doing your 10% shade. And then it all should be in order again. And then I keep changing that last one. Okay, so let's start with the lime green and just start going down the line coloring it. We're going to go to the light orange and start coloring that. Those are all the exact same color. This is actually red, isn't it? I don't think I have my colors in order here, because this one should actually be here. There we go. So then make sure you're matching everything up, because then red would be here. The color is very, very, very similar to right beside it. And then we'll do that purple. And then the other blue. We have like a teal color. All right, so there we have the color wheel completely filled in. And then to finish your color wheel by visually defining the following. Update your color wheel, and then you need to visually define the tints, the shade, the monochromatic, and the analogous in the complementary colors as illustrated. So you need to go in and actually label everything. This right here, I'm going to color in as black because these will represent the shade. So these all had black added to it. So you're going to label that as shades. And then these had white added to it. So those are going to be your tints. So to finalize this, you will have to label everything on how step 3 should be labeled, and I'll show you that, how it should look again. I get my computer to bring it up. Oh my goodness, getting a spinning wheel. There we go. So right here again, you can pause it right here. This is how it should be labeled. You should label it color wheel. You should remind yourself that tints is hues plus white and shades are hue plus black. And then the black is your shades, your tints, your secondary and primary colors, and everything should be labeled. And then down here, your complementary analogous, oh my gosh, I can't talk today, but you know what I mean. And the monochromatic colors, which are colors are all the same tints and shades of one color or hue. So label all that. This is how it should look when you turn it in. Turn it back into Google Classroom for a grade. Thanks, guys.